everybody, Isrand here, and welcome to another Minecraft video. Now, guys, I've been thinking, time we start getting some real functionality in our home. Sure, it served to protect us from monsters, but there's so much more this little hole could be. Now, I've gone ahead and collected a bunch of cobblestone. That way we have some building materials for what we're going to work on. But essentially, our project for now is we're going to make ourselves a garden. We're going to make ourselves a sustainable food source, something that we can work with and we can come to whenever we get hungry. Clear out some of this dirt, open it up a little bit, and I'll kind of explain everything. To note is that here in the Arctic, gardening isn't exactly a simple task. Okay, you can't just, plunk down any old thing and start a fountain right here. The water will freeze, and the plants, they just can't handle that sort of thing. So, we have to make some special precautions and some special means to ensure that our little plants and our whole garden and food source is going to survive out here. Okay, so far we have 3, and I really don't have the wood to make more fences. That's disheartening. Oh well. Bones, and yeah, that'll do. So what we're going to do for now is we're just going to have to go ahead and we'll build the fence out of cobblestone, the lower fence. We'll sort of wall it in, make sure that it can stay warm. And if we do it right, we'll make it so that the monsters can't wander into our garden and trample our crops, because, well, they could. There we go. We'll make it about the length of the actual house. There we go. Come here, you. Sort of build it up here as well. Kind of similar to the way we actually built the real house. You see, by actually keeping the heat, or rather by keeping the cold out and putting sort of a ceiling over the whole thing, we can keep it nice and cold in here. Or keep it nice and warm. I speak English, I swear. Pay no attention to that. That was nothing. You heard nothing. Okay. So then from there, now we need to add a roof, simple as this, because these plants aren't going to grow very high. So long as they grow, and they produce the food we need, they'll need water and a few other things, but all in all, it'll work out pretty well. Now, you guys may have noticed all those grass seeds that we've been collecting since day 1. Well, with the exception of those that... Let's just, plug that back up. We'll rebuild the clock when we get back in there. This will be our doorway out to the garden. Put our item frame back up and the clock. It's about noon. Yep, that way we can just wander right out and be safe. No having to deal with the outside, no having to deal with the monsters. Ugh. Well, I'm not sure where my iron's gone, but we're going to have to go grab one more block of it. Oh, man. It feels like these caves are home now, guys. After all of our... And then the creepy noise played. There we go. See? I told you all those episodes ago that we'd come back for that iron, and I finally did it. Ooh, I'm getting a little bit hungry, too. Whee! So let's smelt up that block, and then we'll get ourselves a bucket and go find some water. The way that gardening in Minecraft works is that we need to first off have a water source. I'm thinking we'll go ahead and put it somewhere like right here. A nice little 4x4 spot. Because, well, I'll kind of go over it, but it can create what's called an infinite water source. And then in every direction, 4 blocks out from that space, we'll actually have water. Or rather, we'll have soil that can be fertilized by the water, moisten it, and ensure that our plants are going to grow healthy and strong. Now, I'm not liking this. I'm thinking what we should do is maybe extend it out by 1 more point, and maybe move the door over. I'm being a little OCD this morning. There we go. Now, how much do we want to move it out? 1 block. Okay. See, what I was thinking is now that we have access to the Nether and to all these other really cool things, we want to make sure that our home is ready. That our home is our fortress, our rock, our solitude. That way, if we happen to die or have anything bad happen to us while we're roaming around Bowser's castle out there, well, then we'll be okay. We're not going to have to worry. We'll have a steady food source here to help heal us up and make sure that we're not going to, die of starvation in the cold winter. Kind of dark, really, but, there it is. It'll definitely help make sure that our home is secure and that we're safe when we're here. There we go, and by now our iron ought to be smelted up. Now, if you guys remember from when we went to make the obsidian, just craft ourselves up this bucket, and let's go. Actually, let me grab a bite. You. I'm feeling steak this morning, guys. How about you? We also should probably do something about our mine entrance. It's a little awkward. Keep falling in it when I don't mean to. But I have plans for that. Ooh, an egg. And yoink. There. Fix up the lake a little bit. Now we'll come right back here and grab a second bucket, and from there we'll have our infinite water source. From there we won't actually have to go out anywhere to get water anymore. Wow. Fail moment. Do that so I have the source. Good. Now 1 more bucket of water, and then that thing will be complete. Infinite water sources can only be made by having a 2x2 space and filling in opposite corners, the opposite corners of that 2x2 space, with a fresh water source. That's the block that we picked up here. Now see, already this water's freezing over. Just from the couple of seconds we were away, that 1 block of water went and refroze, turned back to ice, and, well, yeah, you can't really grow food with ice. At least I can't. There we go. Make sure nothing wanders in behind us. And, boom, an infinite water source. See? Now, anytime we're here, all we gotta do is click and bang. It'll constantly regenerate our water, and we'll be able to get all the food we need. Well, all the water we need. Food is going to take a little something special. Let's clear out. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get a shovel. It's a little faster for snow. It's one thing I've always loved about Minecraft. A little bit of common sense. When you think of moving snow, you shovel it. Now, shoveling snow will also yield something else. A very nice benefit of it is these snowballs. Now, a lot of people wouldn't, like, even I didn't realize this, but our friend Base from before actually told me that these snowballs are going to serve us a very practical purpose very, very soon. I'm not going to go into it yet, but when the time comes, I get the feeling you guys will be just as surprised as I am, unless you're, maybe more adept at this game than I am, which is entirely possible. Okay, now we're going to want some torches. Get some heat up in this room, because plants do need that. There. Because I'm going to put the doorway here. I'm going to move these 2 planks over, and then we'll have the door. I can almost hear people in the distance. But now your house is the one filled with snow. Yep. Well, we'll fix that too, as well as get us some real floorboards in here. That's a goal for next time. Because like I said, I want to convert this place into a real home for us. Not just, the little ramshackle hut that we sleep in. Occasionally. Now, by doing this, and instead of putting that 3rd piece of cobblestone, if you leave that space blank, you'll actually make a stone hoe. Curious how many Snickers I just got out of you people. Now, with our seeds, and I've also gone and gotten some sugarcane. I found it, actually. It was sitting by a lake and had actually frozen over and died, so the raw cane was just kind of laying there on the ground, so I went and grabbed it. That'll help us out too, but not just yet. It needs to grow first. Set these here. Now, for the moment of truth. We're going to start over here. Now, I want to leave a little bit of a walkway around the water so that we have space to walk on. That way we're not trampling our own crops when we go to get them. A simple right click will do, and you'll be pouring up your fields. Now, you'll see here that already these 2 spaces are moist soil. That's because of its proximity to the water. And then, if you take some seeds in hand and plunk, now we're growing our own wheat. Now, some of you, I'm sure, well, actually, I'm pretty sure everyone knows what wheat is, but wheat in this game is actually going to be a way to make bread. You may remember we found that down in the cave before, but we won't need the cave bread anymore, not with our own freshly grown wheat. Now, on this side, I have something special in mind. Never mind that. See? You can trample the tilled soil and make it dirt again. Then the grass will just grow over it and we'll be all good. We're going to take these pumpkins that we found all that time ago, and by mashing them up, we can get ourselves some pumpkin seeds. That'll let us actually grow our own pumpkins too, but unlike wheat, you have to leave an extra space for pumpkins. Because they'll grow up on a stalk, and just like pumpkins in real life, they'll just kind of plunk down, and when they grow, they grow. Then lastly, sugarcane, which needs to be sitting right on the edge of water in order to grow, we'll put right here. Now we've got our own little garden, and it'll take a little while for our garden to grow, but once it does, guys, we're going to have plenty of food, and it is going to be a beautiful addition to our otherwise beautiful home. Now another thing is just simply that I want to be able to see our crops. I don't want to have to walk all the way out there. So we'll go ahead and we'll put a little viewport here. Plunk down the glass so that we can just look through and be like, oh, cool, it's growing. Now again, this means our poor wall clock's going to have to move, but hey. Casualties of war. Weirdest war ever, maybe. Oh, and look at that, our pumpkins are already starting to grow. See, and the wheat too. See, as it grows, you'll actually see it physically grow. That's how you'll know it's getting ready. But, after this episode of Gardening with Isrand, guys, I'm going to have to call it for now. It's just about 15 minutes, and I will see you guys in the next one when we'll go ahead and actually start getting the main house taken care of and get ourselves a real floor. Good night, everybody. See you then.